Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Worst Collection Ever, presented by the Sideshow Network. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence that just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And here we are again.
Yes.
Yes.
You mean here in the studio?
Well, podcasting.
Oh, in general. Okay.
But no, we're not shouting into a laptop today.
No. We should have some good sound today, so hooray. Hopefully this will be the week that somebody listens and says, like, oh, this is a good show. And then they hear it and they expect the good quality, and this is what they're going to expect. So we try our best. Yeah. So what do we? I guess we should just get into it.
Yeah,
because
sounds good.
We have WrestleMania today.
Oh yes, WrestleMania.
We got a lot of things to do. It's a very important day, and so
this is like Sean's Christmas.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big day for me, and I'm not. And for once, we're not having a WrestleMania party.
True.
In the past couple years, we've had one, and this year, I think we're just keeping it low key.
Yeah.
Jen's gonna make sloppy Jimbos.
Sloppy Joes, yeah.
Sloppy Joes, and so I'm just gonna watch my wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink an entire bottle of margarita mix, which I think has tequila in it.
I think you're supposed to mix it with stuff.
I think it already has tequila in it. It says chill and serve. It says the tequila's in there. Either that or I'm just drinking mix. So we're going to see how this goes.
You're just being a weirdo.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Excuse me, does it have actual booze? Actually, I'll be honest, if it had tequila in it, it probably wouldn't be only $5.
It's Trader Joe's. And it's like the worst tequila.
Yeah, but they would sell tequila for more than that.
Depends on the tequila.
I don't think you can get tequila that cheap.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yes,
granted,
can.
I'm not a drinker, so.
Yeah, I say I'm not much of one, but today's WrestleMania, so I'm drinking.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to get through that.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. First book up is our Marvel selection. It is Fantastic Four. It's the first time we've ever done Fantastic Four. We did Fantastic Force before.
Was that like the 90s?
That was the 90s one with the
version?
Fantastic Four with the kids. Or at least with the one kid.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them were a bunch of goofs.
Yeah.
That that was a dumb one. But that's we're doing that, and we're doing Fantastic Four proper.
Okay.
Because we typically we stay away from Fantastic Four because they're boring as shit. But this one isn't that bad. And we also do a lot of stuff with the Thing. The Thing's always fun, and here he is in this one too. So, Fantastic Four, Volume 1, number 187 from October 1977. On the cover, it is Fantastic Four, and it says you have Claw beating the shit out of the Fantastic Four, and he's saying, even if you had a chance of beating Claw, you're never going to beat my brand new partner. And it's Reed looking at between somebody's legs, and he's like, no, can't be him. And trouble times 2.
I just realized those were legs. I thought we were like looking through like a doorway.
Oh no, he's looking. That's a taint. This is balls.
Oh yeah, that shows you how much I pay attention. I honestly thought it was a door. Guy's got some blocky legs.
Yeah, so we'll find out who that is. This is actually written by Len Wein and drawn by George Perez and Joe Sinnott, which I find to be fascinating because Len Wein has done a lot of great things that I enjoy. And George Perez is pretty good. I'm not sure. I don't know who Joe Sinnott as much as I should probably, but so I mean, you figured the quality of this book is actually pretty, should be good. And so first page, so it's called Trouble Times 2. First page, we have the Fantastic Four along with Agatha Harkness and...
Who's just me. Let's just be honest. It's just a fucking picture of me. She's an old woman with crazy fucking eyebrows and she just looks angry. I'm like, oh, it's me. Awesome. I'm in this book.
Agatha Harkness, the witch in residence. Literally a witch.
Yeah.
She's for whatever reason they're coming back from something happened in the previous issues in New Salem, Colorado, which I don't believe exists.
No,
does it?
No, not to my knowledge, it doesn't.
Is it right next to South Park?
Nothing is next to South Park.
So anyways, Agatha and the crew, including also Franklin Richards, who's a wee child, but he
looks like a okay, you know what he looks like? He looks like a 23-year-old kid on his way to his like first job on Casual Friday. And he's just very small. Because he looks like a grown man, just like a small version of a grown man.
He looks like a small version of Johnny Storm when he's not on fire.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of, but like, but he looks like, he's got really long, his like arms are long.
No, he's like perfectly proportioned. He looks like a fucking adult. It is really disturbing.
And it's weird because, well, here's the thing, because he's wearing like, he's not wearing it doesn't seem like he's wearing like kid clothes. He's wearing
he's wearing like a fucking button down and slacks.
He's got like jeans with a belt, like a good.
Oh, those are just slacks.
Those are slacks.
That's what I'm saying. Like he is on his way to make a good impression on Casual Friday.
He's like, oh, I better, show them a team player.
Yeah, this is his, water part shipping office job. He's gonna go like sell valves and shit.
Oh, I better make sure they know that I can get my numbers up on Friday. Because because they might take this away, might go back to wearing button up, or like another tie. I might not have to wear a tie. I might have to wear a tie again.
Yeah,
I don't like wearing ties.
See, the thing is just you can't see the front of his shirt, but I'm certain it has like a corporate logo stitched into it, not just like screen printed on. This is like stitched. This shit is like lovingly done.
White Wingfoot shipping.
Yeah. So they're like in the plane and they're going back from wherever the fuck they just were.
Yeah, they're going back from the whatever, and they're all having a hearty time.
Yes, having a good time.
Having a hard time. Reed's like, haha, and then they're like, and Ben's like, I'm gonna land this ship, and
so he does.
And everybody's kind of giving him shit. Yeah, I don't know why.
And they're like, well, Agatha, I guess you can stay here for a while, and she's like, hey, that's cool.
What, in the plane?
No, when they get back to headquarters.
And they're just going to leave her in her flat face.
They just left her and her crazy fucking eyebrows in the plane. And they're like, she's got some divine level eyebrows. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I would have actually left if
she's out of a John Waters film.
I would have liked if they did just leave her in the plane. They're like, all right, see you later. You can stay. You
live here now.
You can stay here. It's like, I don't want to get out. I'm like, fine, you can stay here.
Yeah, stay.
There's a toilet.
So
there might be something in the fridge. I don't know.
Is there a fridge on this plane?
There's probably a mini fridge. Probably has like
whatever the
cheese. It probably has like those packets of like cheese and crackers you get as a kid.
Oh yeah, you don't need to refrigerate those.
Yeah, no, but they probably refrigerate them. They probably have them in there.
Yeah, but that makes the crackers kind of gross.
Well, that's all they have. That's all they're like. I was like, get the cheese and crackers in there. We have to make sure we put them in there. We have to have snacks. Ben needs to eat. Ben needs to have snacks.
It's just all like 50 packets of peanuts that they got from like Southwest.
But they're all in the freezer, so they're all cold peanuts.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Ben's like, I like them this way. It's the only way I can feel.
Hey, I like them this way. I'm the Thing.
Poor the Thing. Yeah, so they get back to the Thing and they're just talking about Agnes hanging out with them or whatever. And so then they walk into a room.
Well, it's before that. Ben's walking. They're all like, "Hey, we needs to let's just relax or whatever."
Yeah.
And Ben's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in my room and watch some celebrity wrestling."
Oh, that's right.
Which
I'm not sure what celebrity wrestling is.
Well, celebrity wrestling. Okay, so Hulk Hogan had a celebrity wrestling show. You remember this?
No.
Oh yeah.
Why would I remember this?
I don't know. Oh, that's right. Hulk Hogan on TMZ had like not TMZ, CMT had a celebrity wrestling show for like a season or two. And it was like, I think Dennis Rodman was on it. Dennis Rodman, who actually has wrestled in WCW before. Aaron, whoever from Bewitched, like one of the daughter.
Okay.
And a few other crazy people. And yeah, they just had like a celeb. They trained them to wrestle, and they just had them wrestle each other. And so apparently Ben is watching the 1977 version of this, which I assume features Burt Reynolds,
Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball probably. She's kind of old at this point.
She just wants to be like the like Moolah.
Yeah, she wants to be like Moolah. I'm assuming Paul Lynde is involved.
Paul Lynde is involved in everything.
Paul Lynde is definitely
he dead
involved
by this point.
You know, it's a good question. I think he died in the 80s. So he's probably like, this is probably like, there's like, we'll give you a check. It's like, okay. Or whatever. I kind of wish I had Gilbert and Frank here. Gilbert Gottfried and Frank Padre from our sister show on the Sideshow Network, the Gilbert Gottfried. It's a great, amazing, colossal podcast. Because if I could probably get a good opinion, an idea of who would be in a 1977 version of celebrity wrestling.
Yes.
Because
who is 1977's Kato Kalin?
Right. That's the thing. Because you know, like, I mean, yeah, because Burt Reynolds, that's probably reaching it. But
yeah, well, he was successful.
Yeah, I'm certain that some of our listeners can, if some of your listeners have any suggestions, feel free to let us know. Anyway, so Ben's off to watch that, and then he opens his room, and holy shit,
it's been trashed.
It's been trashed, and inside is our returning to the show, the one and only Impossible Man.
Fuck Impossible Man. I hate Impossible Man.
Here's the thing. I forgot. I haven't read this book in a while.
And you forgot he was in it.
I forgot he was in it.
God damn it.
I almost aborted this.
You were like,
I almost literally
mission aborted. We're not doing this fucking book.
Because I almost went like, you should maybe read something else. And I was like, oh, you know what? Fine.
Yeah, no. I mean, really, it wouldn't be the worst collection ever if we didn't have a bunch of fucking books with Impossible Man in it.
We have like 2.
That's too many.
I know.
That's too many.
Yeah, we have 2.
Too many.
But and this one, but
goddamn impossible imp fucker.
But thankfully in this particular issue,
he's not in it much.
He's not in it much, and he actually. And here's the thing: first of all, he's unconscious right now,
which he is for the most of the issue,
which is great.
Which is exactly how we like him. So they're like, oh no, let's help him to bed or whatever.
Yeah, let's help him out.
Let's. You know.
But actually, what happens is Ben. So what happens is like they're like, well, where's the intruder? We didn't hear anything go off. So Jimmy or Johnny goes and flames on and flies around and.
He thinks that if he like goes outside and looks in the windows, he'll be more able to find the intruder.
Yeah.
And then the invisible girl's like, oh, here, Agnes, take my kid. Oh, I'm gonna go look around. And then the Thing does the same thing, but Reed, who has lost his powers at this point,
yeah,
he doesn't feel that he can apparently walk down a hallway and look for people because he has no powers, so he gets all fucking angry and depressed.
Well, no, what happens is Ben kind of says something, and that's actually a very, very sly thing here, because Ben goes, Reed, here, you stay and take care of Impy, and I'm going to go help the kid before he gets himself in Dutch, which what the fuck does that mean?
Half of what the Thing says doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like he speaks a different language.
Yeah.
And he's speaking English, but he speaks like a...
I feel like it's a very specific, like, kind of slang that is no longer in existence. Or is in only very small pockets of wherever the fuck Ben Grimm is supposed to be from.
Chicago.
Sure.
Or Yancey Street, wherever the fuck it is. Yeah, it says Dutch. I'm like, what, in the movie with Ed O'Neill and that kid from 1991?
Yeah.
That was a movie called Dutch.
Yeah. Sure.
He's going to be in a feature film.
He's going to go on a date, and he's going to split the check in half.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what's going on? He's like, quick, I got to go help that kid before he splits the check in half on his date.
Got to make sure she pays full. Ladies pay on first date, men pay all the time after. That's how I learned it on Yancey Street. It's wise I never got laid.
Wise.
So, but I think he kind of implies, he says this to Ben, to Reed, and Reed kind of takes it like, oh, I don't have my powers, but it doesn't mean I suck.
Well, no, he's like, oh, I can't do anything. And like, as we see later, he just sits around and feels bad for himself because he doesn't have any power.
Yeah.
As if he still can't somehow participate in this search.
Also too, and it comes up later, Agatha Harkness is like, you're still like literally the smartest man in like this entire building.
Right. What the fuck?
You're smart. You're the smartest man within like a 15-mile radius.
Yeah.
Of anywhere.
And you're just going to sit here and feel fucking bad for yourself because your arm can't stretch anymore. Like, cry me a goddamn river, you moron. Like, do it like normal people do and like walk from room to room to fucking see if there's anybody in there.
But anyway, so we we get the Fantastic Four going off to search for, the intruder.
And the thing finds
Claw, the master.
in Reed Richards' lab, which you would assume Reed Richards would check.
Which we go to, he'd be like, I'll check my lab. And he goes and doesn't bother
and he
to check
could,
his lab.
walk to his lab. But no, he's going to cry like a little fucking moron.
This is why I hate the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, by the way.
Anyway.
This just makes me angry, because I'm like, the fact that we spend so much time on Reed feeling bad because he no longer has his power, and not doing what he would normally do before he had powers is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just needed to have some sort of contentious issue.
Yeah, but I mean, it's manufactured. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a pretty kind of a bummer. So anyway, so Reed, so Claw, so Ben finds Claw. He's Solid Sound, and they're fighting, and
I don't know. He like crystallizes him.
No.
Oh no, that's not him.
Okay, so what happens is he's like, well, I'm gonna take yous down.
Yeah,
and
clobber in time, etc.
Clobber in time, and then he's like, well, I got a partner, and it turns out it's the Molecule Man.
Yeah, Claw and Molecule Man are working together.
And Molecule Man was sent away. He was something. What the frick happened to him? Something happened.
He was just gone. Let's just go with he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone. He was banished or something, and now he's back.
Yep.
And he's in a different body than he normally is.
We'll find that out later.
Well, right, but I mean, because obviously, here's the thing: you look at Molecule Man here, he looks markedly different than what you're used to seeing Molecule Man look like.
Okay.
So that's why I have to point this out.
I see.
He looks like basically like Vin Diesel, but with like fucking lightning bolts on his face, which I never understand why his face looks like Molecule Man's face looks like that in general, because that's what it looks like normally.
Okay. But
it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so he has like a fancy rod that allows him, I think, amplifies his powers.
It's a baton.
Basically,
he's just going to start twirling it.
Yeah, he's going to start doing it.
He's in the color guard.
Yeah, he's in the color guard, and he turns Ben into glass.
Yep.
Which I'm surprised is like, if he's in glass now, just fucking smash him.
Right. He doesn't do that. There's actually a great panel later, which I'll point out. But so then we go back to Reed feeling bad for himself.
This is where Agatha Harkness yells at him.
Yeah, and she's like, stop feeling bad for yourself.
It is you.
Yeah, it is me. I'm telling you. She's angry at him because he's literally just like, can't help out. Can't even look at the monitors to see if there's anybody there. No, I'm just going to cry. Reed sucks. Fuck you, Reed. So then we go back to Claw and Molecule Man, and they're trying to get into some machine.
So basically this machine where I think they're trying to use, what's this Claw want with this machine?
I forget what he wants. But I have to point out, though, that this is what I love, is Molecule Man just holding the thing up above his head with one hand.
Because he's made of glass. He's easy.
I know, but it's just great. He's just like holding it like he was like holding a tray of drinks.
So it's it's going to help Molecule Man become like into his own body, because he's been banished to like this wand or some shit.
Gotcha.
And
but then here comes Johnny Storm.
So Johnny Storm shows up though, and actually I kind of like this. Excuse me. Molecule Man they see him, and Molecule Man changes the air molecules around Johnny Storm into water, which effectively douses him.
Right.
And suffocates him for long enough to incapacitate him.
Right.
So he does that, and then Sue shows up, and like they can, because she's invisible and she's attacking them, but Claw uses his sound to find her heartbeat, and then uses his, and then traps her.
Right.
But thankfully Reed gets his shit together,
and he shows up, and he has a gun, which then gets knocked out of his hand. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't have a gun."
Yeah, then the gun gets blown up, and he's like, "I don't have a gun."
But then, and here, let's also point out how fucking stupid Sue Storm is. Is this where she says it?
What?
Hold on. Yeah. So there's two evil guys fighting Reed Richards.
Oh.
And Sue Storm standing there goes, "No, Reed," out loud. "Stay back. Without your stretching powers, you haven't a chance against these two." So she lets these two fucking morons in on the fact that Reed no longer has powers. And honestly, Sue Storm and Reed Richards deserve each other because they are morons.
Yeah, they're pretty
of the
dumb.
highest caliber.
They're very Reed's very smart, but he's also very dumb. He's like I've often had to describe it by myself.
He's one of those guys. He knows a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he's smart in like science matters, but when it comes to anything else, like common sense wise, he is an idiot.
Yeah.
And Sue Storm, she's basically like a cardboard cutout of a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has about the intelligence of such.
Yeah.
So
then I'm like, really? And so then they're like, haha, we can beat you. And of course they do.
yeah. Good job.
Good job, Sue.
I wish this book would be over and be like, and Fantastic Four were killed and they never were heard from again.
I can't imagine why these two eventually get divorced?
Oh yeah, if at some point they get
probably
split
because
up.
of shit like this.
Yeah, they've had a very tumultuous relationship. I mean, who cares?
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, Fantastic Four fans out there. I can care less about them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I own some of their comics.
Yeah,
we'll talk about them.
Do.
We'll do it.
So then this is where Claw starts explaining what happened, where he was like, he comes out of another dimension.
He comes out of a dimension, lands in a swamp, sees swamp.
He was trying to go to New York, but he miscalculated and he ended up in the Everglades, and he saw Man-Thing holding the baton. Man-Thing drops it in the muck.
Which, okay, here's a question.
Why?
Normally they'll have like a little box saying, "Oh, we reference it here." They don't have that at all. So I'm actually very disappointed in that because I'm like, I have no freaking clue where to look.
I think this is a story just for this book because I don't think it happened in another book.
Where did he get the baton from? What is this baton?
What Man-Thing?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But I want to know.
Well, you don't get to know. Man-Thing had it. That's all you need to know. And then he dropped it in some muck because he
goes like muck into ground.
Oh, and then he can't take it with him apparently. It just like floats on the top.
It just attaches.
It's like pond scum.
No, it just like attaches to himself. Like he has a lot of things attached to him. Like he probably has all of like baseballs and beer bottles and stuff. And he just kind of goes places and he goes.
What is he, like a matted dog?
Yeah, he just has like things on like
Cheerios.
He has Hardee's wrappers and stuff. He's just got. It's just
packets.
It's the swamp. I mean, it's got to have tons of garbage in it.
Orange Crush can.
Yeah. Like he's got like just like a crushed can. Like
so he's just like walking garbage.
Yeah.
All right. So, Claw's like, haha, look at this fancy thing. I'm gonna take it, and then it tries to like take him over because Molecule Man like lives inside of it.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't technically have a body, because he's solid sound, it doesn't work on him. So then he's able to talk to Molecule Man and be like, we'll go find you a body.
Why is Molecule Man in this thing? Okay,
I don't know.
Claw finds a stick.
But Molecule Man's inside of it. That's where he's been banished to. When, how, I don't know. This one says Iron Man Annual number 3.
Oh, good. See, they referenced that.
So that one tells you. So then he's like, well, let's go to Manhattan.
Let's find you a body.
Find you a body from some boxer who's probably just going to go get a fucking sandwich.
Why could they find a body in Florida?
They didn't want Florida, man.
But like,
they were like, New York bodies only.
I'm gonna say here, particularly 1977 Florida had some of the top wrestlers in Tampa.
Didn't want a wrestler. Wanted random boxer.
You could have had Dusty Rhodes. You could have had Mike Graham. You could have had Pac Song.
This is the portion of the show where Sean references wrestlers.
Eric the Red.
Just names them off. Like every wrestler he can think of.
Jack Briscoe would have been a great body for Molecule Man. These are things I'm going to write a letter to if I ever meet George Perez.
You're just going to have like
or Len Wein.
Or you're just going to have a list of wrestlers that they could have used for this issue.
Yeah, here's a bunch of books with wrestlers in it, and here's this book here.
I made you a list.
And I know I didn't have to tie you up to tell you this, but I'm telling you so.
I actually hope you write the list on like a roll of toilet paper so it can get longer and longer, and then you just like unroll it and it like goes across the floor, and it's just like full of wrestling people, like names. You're like, here's your list.
Here are all the active wrestlers: Tommy Rich, Ric Flair, Wahoo McDaniels, Hulk Hogan didn't debut yet. Can't have him. Maybe he did. Shit.
It's 1977.
I think it was. Maybe. You could have had a young. Actually, Hulk Hogan was playing bass in rock bands in 1977 in Florida because he's a Florida man. Hulk Hogan is a Florida man. He could have been, he could have been Malky Man. Just saying. He missed his chance.
So they don't pick a wrestler. they decide that they have to go get a random boxer who looks like just an old guy. And so once he touches the baton, Molecule Man is unleashed. And now he's going to go into this thing, and that's going to be his body. But suddenly, the Impossible Man shows up.
So are they doing the transfer? Or?
Well, they're starting. He's like, I'm going to go in here, and then Impossible Man shows up.
So Impossible Man shows up, and actually, he's
helpful.
He's helpful because he uses like his alien stuff where he's able to like, create things and just basically like he's able to turn himself into stuff that's functioning.
Yeah.
And, he ends up, they end up fighting.
Yeah.
And actually, Sue actually makes herself very useful here because as they're fighting, she's like, oh, I should probably cover Ben because he's made of glass.
Yeah. We don't want him to get hit by anything.
Yeah, we don't want him to die.
Yeah.
Which would really suck if he came back to life and he's like, hey, I'm missing my toes. So they're fighting.
So they fight, and like Molecule Man, it's helpful. Not helpful. Impossible Man.
So Impossible Man, what happens is he realizes that Claw has his hand that creates solid sound structures, and so he Claw creates like a monster, sound monster to go at Impossible Man. Impossible Man's like, okay, I'll do that too.
Right.
And he creates a sound monster, but the problem is that they both collide, and it's a giant beef of sound.
Right, and it really fucks with Claw.
Yeah. But
Molecule Man's like, oh, well, I don't have time to worry about that. I'm going to go into this thing. Into this magical machine. And it's sort of working, but something happens where it doesn't
because Reed reverses
Reed actually does something.
Because Reed gets his act together, and he's like, all right, I'm going to help, and he helps.
Yeah, so he shuts the machine down, and then you've got just like some random boxer just like passed out.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because then like Ben, since Molecule Man's been reversed,
he goes back
into this
stone.
wand or whatever. Ben comes back to life. He's like, was I dead?
Yeah. Impossible Man's like, oh, he looked so much better when he was glass. You're like, thanks a lot.
I wish Ben something would have happened to him. It's like, oh, I lost my left elbow or something. Like just something like
something stayed glass.
Or something like got broken when he was in glass, and then he didn't have it when he came back, and it was just really horrible. Mm-hmm. And then that's just how it was. Because those are the consequences.
Yeah.
Of comics.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Ben sees Reed's like, oh, well,
he's like, I'm gonna go test this now. He's like, he heard the whole story about how like the wand and took him over and the whole thing, and he's still like, you know what? I'm going to pick this wand up.
Oh, that's right. He was there.
I'm going to pick this baton up, and I'm going to go test it in my lab. Well, guess what?
I gave him the benefit of the doubt for this for like a second.
But he was there.
But now I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. He was there.
He was there.
He's a goddamn idiot.
He is a goddamn idiot. I told you, everybody in this book is a moron.
He maybe should have picked it up.
With like a glove on?
A glove?
Yeah.
You could have had, you got tons of like, grabby things in your lab. You could have just had somebody grab it.
Yeah. That's what pisses me off, because there's actually, total side note, I hate when this sort of like manufactured thing happens in any story, because you're like, he knows that this is how this happened. Mm-hmm. Like in Sleepy Hollow, there's something similar where like literally somebody watches somebody handle a jewel with only gloves on, like watches them put this on to touch this thing, and then the next thing they do, they touch it with their hand. And of course, it like possesses them. Mm. And I'm like, how dumb are you? Like that, it just pisses me off.
Well,
anyway.
If anybody should not be dumb, it's Reed Richards.
Right.
But he is.
Anyways,
he becomes a Molecule Man type, like, and he has the Molecule Man face and
the suit.
But it's his Reed Richards hair, and he's like, haha, I'm back. And next issue is the Rampage of Reed Richards. And that's it for Fantastic Four number 187 from October 1977. Would you read the next issue?
No.
Yeah, I don't care.
Sorry, I don't like the Fantastic Four.
I don't. I mean, there's occasional books that I'll find out about, but, you know, I don't need to read this.
No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
Which is why it's in our collection.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I kind of wish there was more Fantastic Four stuff that I would enjoy, you know, just for a little bit, just to see, you know, if it's worth it. But I get, it's like them and Spider-Man, man. I just get so tuned out.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not cool.
No. Are you just gonna, now it's just gonna be you breathing into the mic and talking about wrestlers for the next 30 minutes?
The New Day. Dingo Warrior. King Kong Brody. Okay.
Wait, King Kong Brody?
Well, here's the story.
Isn't his name King Kong Bundy?
Well, there was King Kong Bundy.
Oh.
But King Kong Brody was the name that Bruiser Brody would take on when he would wrestle in Chicago, because Dick the Bruiser was already there and they didn't want having two bruisers, so he would be King Kong Brody.
So what happened if King Kong Bundy was there at the same time?
Well, King Kong Bundy wasn't there.
Was it because he was dead?
No, he was still alive. This is the early 80s.
So what? I realized he wasn't there, but what would happen if he were there?
If he were there, they would just have
Did
to think
they
of
have
another name.
a contingency plan for when there were too many
they could just call him King
Bruisers
Bundy
and Brodies?
They didn't think about. No, they probably would just worry about it if it happened, and they would just call him like Kong Brody or Al Bundy. They call him Al Bundy.
He would just sit there in the ring on a couch with his hand down his pants?
Yes, that's. I would love to be.
Why is that not a wrestling?
That'd be a great wrestling gimmick. As a guy, instead of like how the king of wrestling is usually they bring, if they have like a wrestling king in the 80s, they would bring them on like a bunch of jobbers would carry them on like a thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, like with a throne, and they're just walking up to the ring. But in this case, it would be Al Bundy on a recliner with his hand in his pants. Or the wrestler as Al Bundy,
and
not Al Bundy.
The jobbers would carry the recliner to the ring.
Yes.
I see.
And then he would get out and just kick ass. That's a great idea. Oh my God.
I am full of great wrestling ideas.
You know what? I'll tease this. We'll come back after a break and we'll talk about Jen's greatest wrestling idea.
Hey guys, it's me, Owen Benjamin, and I'm here to tell you about my podcast. It's called Why Didn't They Laugh, right here on Sideshow Network. Each episode, we look at moments that a joke fails, moments that we don't want to relive, but we will because we learn from it, and it's kind of fun, and we're all kind of sadistic. Why Didn't They Laugh with me, Owen Benjamin, every Wednesday and Friday. You can download it, be sure to rate it, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or check us out on SideshowNetwork.tv/Owen Benjamin. I love you.
All right. Well, first of all, let's talk about your wrestling idea.
Yeah.
So the other day, Jen came up with this great idea.
I can't believe you didn't think of this before, to be honest.
Well, because we were like WrestleMania or whatever, and she's like, hey, you know, WrestleMania should just be like a big, like, the audience starts wrestling each other.
Well, it just sounds like that's what it would be. It'd be like, you know, you pay $10, you go into the stadium, and then everybody there wrestles each other.
Yes.
And it's just like just a huge, like, fat dudes who think that they're, like, the best, and they're just, like, crying.
Who just like, I could wrestle, you know, and they just try to wrestle, and they get winded, and they have to lay down.
And it's kind of like...
there's the guys that, like, are just in it to hurt people.
Yeah. And
like MMA dudes.
There's just dudes who think it's funny, and they suck, and, like... So basically, it's
a lot of people that suck, actually.
Anybody who gets there within a certain number of...
Or guys and girls.
And girls, doesn't matter. Anybody who gets there within a certain amount of time, you go in after you sign your waiver, and you wrestle. And then the people, 40 people who are standing after...
Well, the way they decided... So here's the thing. It's also not... It's not just...
amateurs.
It's
all backyard.
It's also the entire WWE roster, also including Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, no, he's in there too.
Vince McMahon. So
and Stephanie. So if you overthrow Stephanie, that means you get to be head writer.
Well, you get to be. Yeah, you could say. Here's the thing. What happens
and like
is
head creative.
Whoever, you know, everybody fights, and after a certain amount of time, whoever, you know.
Whoever's left standing.
Look, I haven't figured out the rules for this imaginary fight.
We haven't figured this out yet, but basically until there's 40 people left, right? Or is that the number we're going with, 40?
let's say there's a bigger roster than that.
60.
Do we need an NXT, or does NXT also get decided too in this?
I don't know. That's a good question. Do you feel that they should be? Because then we're looking at like 100 people.
I think we leave NXT out of this.
Okay, so let's say 60 people.
Yeah.
Whoever's left, the last 60 people standing, that is your WWE roster for the rest of the year. It doesn't matter. So if John Cena gets knocked out, no John Cena.
Yeah, you're stuck with...
And he can try again next year.
Yeah, he has to wait.
He has to wait, but he can try again next year to try to wrestle his way into the top.
So you're stuck with...
This is a much better WrestleMania than what we're going to see later today.
Yeah, you're stuck. That means you're stuck with, like, guys who are, like, from different towns and
people with no experience. Or people with a shit ton of experience. Dudes who don't look like they've been juiced to the gills. Just like regular dudes, regular chicks, just athlete chicks, not model chicks.
Just people that just knew how to use a weapon. Because you can also bring weapons.
Oh, I thought we couldn't bring weapons.
Wait, did we say? Wait, well,
you said no fire.
I said no. So okay, I said fire only if you are throwing it like Jerry Lawler would.
Right,
like
you have to use flash paper.
And Jerry Lawler is approving this fire. He's outside. He doesn't participate.
Well, no, he's
a fire inspector.
Can we get him a hat?
Yes, and he has a hat. Yeah. He has a hat that has a bunch of flames on it, like it's a
like an Ed Hardy hat,
like Firestorm. He has a hat like Firestorm.
Does it glow?
Yeah, it does glow. It has it's plugged into the back, and he has to stand by an outlet.
And it's only like a 2-foot plug, so he can't really go anywhere.
He has to like lay on the floor. It's too short, and he just goes, it's good fun.
Be like us going into WonderCon.
Yeah.
Like, so at WonderCon, which we went to last week, they have a new system in which you have to scan your badge.
Oh, yeah.
To go into or out of the floor, into or out of a panel. But the problem is we are tall people.
Yeah.
And these things are like on the floor, like halfway up.
Yeah, they're like waist level.
They're like waist level. So we kind of keep bending over to like fucking... I need a longer lanyard.
Yeah.
So that's basically how he would feel.
Yeah. But I mean, but then, you know, where I know I said you could bring weapons, but nothing, no projectiles.
And you can't have a suit. Remember? Because we were talking about how like somebody would have a suit and you said no suits.
Did I say no suits?
Yeah, because we were talking about this guy who's like the best guy in the world, who happens to do a lot with dictionaries. And I was saying like he could have a suit that fires dictionaries at people, but you said that's a no.
Well, he can carry a dictionary.
Yeah, but he cannot have a suit that fires dictionaries.
Well, right, just like that. Yeah, no projectiles. But if you want a suit, like if you want to dress like fucking...
Like Iron Man? Could you have an Iron Man suit?
But Iron Man, I mean, it's like, yeah, you can have an Iron Man suit, but you just can't shoot anything. Okay. You just have to be able to fight in that suit.
Okay.
So if you're just like a metal guy...
So if you are basically Batman and Batman v Superman...
Yeah, you can dress how you want.
Because that suit is one of the few things that doesn't shoot anything in this movie.
Right. Yeah, he just kind of throws things very, very slowly. He goes, ah.
But not really slowly. He actually hits people hard enough that their faces go through the floor.
I know.
Which I missed until I saw like a gif of it.
I didn't quite understand. Yeah, I thought he just hit the guy into the ground. But
that's what I thought too. No, he hit him through the floor.
And that wasn't in the suit. He was regular
that's right.
Batman.
He was regular Batman.
Spoiler alert, bullshit happens in Batman v Superman.
But yeah, so you could wear a suit as long as it doesn't shoot projectiles.
Okay, yeah. So there's that, and I think there's a few other qualifiers, but this is how I want the WWE to be determined from now on.
Yeah. So every April you have this event. This is your roster. So then you have your fucking Raw shit, SmackDown shit for the entire year, and then again more wrestling. And
then you get again, and then it's different, and everybody goes, "All right, man, it's gonna be different this year because John Cena's gonna come back after he got beaten by a guy in a Iron Man suit."
He got beaten by Iron Man Bob. Some fucking guy from Missouri.
Just a guy with the Iron Man hat. He's like, he just has a really heavy bucket on his head, and he's just like, "I'm Iron Man Bob."
Is he dressed like Red Tornado in the very beginning?
Yes. He's Ma Uncle. He shows up as Ma Uncle with a pot on his head, and he's like, "I'm Iron Man Bob," and he's John Cena's like, "Oh shit, he's back." Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Iron Man Bob can just be spotted like, main lighting Cheetos before he goes into the ring. Like,
they're all, everybody's, here's the thing too. It has to be in like a really big thing. So full tailgate. So you
no, absolutely.
You have to, everybody's just out there and there's there's like
it's like a Buffalo fan.
It's like
tailgate,
a Buffalo
though.
fan tailgate.
So maybe it should be in Buffalo every year.
Yeah, it would help the economy. I think
Probably.
And just
people would actually go to Buffalo.
And here's the thing too. I know a lot of people in Buffalo that would do it. No, here's the thing. Nobody listens. I know for a fact that nobody in Buffalo listens to the show, so I could talk about this. But they would. They would. They would be in Buffalo. They would, because Buffalo fans are falling off of things.
Yeah, if you've ever.
Here's the thing too.
If you want to see what Buffalo fans do, go to Deadspin, and there's a tag. I think it's even called like Bills fans or something.
Yeah, Bills fans. Yeah.
And it's just all the fuckery that happens at Bills tailgates.
Well, it was this past year. What happens is like they got famous doing they got noticed doing one thing, and then they're like, "Oh, let's keep doing stupid shit," and that's what they've been doing.
Because there's nothing to do in Buffalo
except fall off.
Literally,
here's the thing. Also, too,
you could go to Tim Hortons though.
Yeah, Tim Hortons is great,
and I miss Tim Hortons actually.
Yeah,
a lot.
Here's the thing. Another thing too. If you want to fall off the top of the stadium, you can.
But if you die, that's on you.
Well, if you die, you already signed a waiver, so that's
everybody already said it. So if you get killed, like murdered, or death by accident,
people are
what
definitely.
Are you do?
Here's the thing: people
are going to die.
People are definitely getting murdered. There's going to be a lot of broken necks, a lot of broken backs.
Yes,
a lot of punctured organs.
But you know that going in, and you've already signed a waiver to say I am taking responsibility for the fact that I may die doing this ridiculously stupid thing.
Right.
And I'm not going to sue anybody because this is my choice.
Well, the families have no say.
Yeah.
This is the last time you may see a family. So
maybe it's entire families.
Well, entire families are going to do it. Entire families are definitely going to do it.
But we have to have age limits. We don't want children fighting.
Do we do it? Wait.
18 and up.
18 and up. Okay.
18 and up. I don't want a 7-year-old in there.
The kids are outside.
Getting body slammed by a 58-year-old
there's a special
man
section
who drives
for
a truck.
So there's a kid's tent where they're showing this.
Let's watch Mommy and Daddy die.
And there's also video games.
Oh, well, that's good. Honestly, there's the same amount of blood in both.
And there's a ball pit, but it's only filled with WWE action figures that they haven't sold.
That would kind of hurt. Like, you jump on him, you're like, Randy Orton stabbed me.
John Cena punched me in the eye. This is how it is. This is how I want it.
This is how America's going. I can't see any other way.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like I don't feel this is that far fetched.
I feel this would fit right in the Idiocracy universe, which we are
it totally does,
trending towards.
I feel it's even worse, to be honest.
Is it?
I feel like because I feel like they would have a special screening of No Holds Barred, which to be honest is the equivalent of the movie Ass.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea.
I know.
I'm a genius.
I know, this is good. Could we have and whoever could also want a statue of you? Did you thought of it?
Sure. I mean, it's got to look better than the Warrior Award.
It'll be made of chocolate. It'll be you looking like Agatha Harkness.
Fair.
With great eyebrows.
Fair. Yes.
But it's definitely made of chocolate, guys.
Not any of that like shitty milk chocolate you get at the 99-cent store. This is real shit.
Yeah.
Got to be worth winning.
Yeah, like a Godiva chocolate. Like a Godiva's going to sponsor this.
Or like Cadbury or something. Like it's going to be made of like...
Oh, it's going to be filled with Cadbury cream?
Oh, that'd be just gross. Like you break me open, I just ooze.
God, I like this event so much. I really do.
You want to win an oozing Jen statue?
I want this to be, and I want it has to be. The government's going to mandate that it's going to be on all the stations, like every station.
It's like in the Hunger Games where you watch like the whatever the thing they.
I'm really excited for this. I'm going to be disappointed watching WrestleMania tonight, not knowing that everybody in the audience is not going to have a chance to be a part of the roster.
What a shame. One day when we buy the WWE from a doddering old Vince. Trick him into selling it to us for like a pair of earrings and a smartphone.
and half a bag of Cheetos. So here are your new writers.
He'll be like,
half bag of Cheetos.
Yeah. After it gets like wanged up on the side of the head a few too many times.
Wanged.
All right. Let's actually talk about the book we're supposed to be talking about.
A completely unrelated news. Starman.
There's a comic book on this comic book podcast.
Well, we told you I was going to talk about this.
Oh, I know.
This is good.
I have no problems.
So, Starman. number Starman Volume 2. I have no
Sure,
idea.
whatever.
So it's a Starman from the 80s. It's Will Payton Starman.
Starman number 10.
Starman number 10 from May 1989. On the cover, it is
Very purple.
It's very purple.
Very purple.
It's very purple-hued fight of picture of Starman fighting Blockbuster
In a desert.
in a desert, while Batman in his gigantic cape
Yeah, he's got the biggest cape.
is standing on a rock,
Mm-hmm.
a very skinny rock, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Dark Knight in the Monument Valley.
Yep.
Is what this is called. So
Spoiler alert: he doesn't kill anyone in this.
no, it's he doesn't have as much of a role, but he does. It is kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, and then I'm sorry we always do Batman and Superman, but it's just like we hadn't done Starman, and I was like,
He just makes a cameo. He's not really in here.
Yeah, he's not really in there.
Yeah,
it's Starman's book. But
so we open on Starman, who's been looks like thrown into a wall. And his face is drawn in such a way that it looks like a rubber mask that has been melted in the microwave. Or perhaps Chunk from the Goonies.
I know he has a weird face.
He's got a real weird face. And everybody's like, oh no. And so I guess Blockbuster threw him into this thing and now he's unconscious.
Well, there's a fight last issue between him and Blockbuster.
So Blockbuster has thrown him into this thing. He's unconscious. The police come and they're like, holy shit, he's not even breathing.
Right.
Because apparently Starman doesn't need to breathe.
Well, because he's basically what happens was basically Starman, Will Payton Starman, basically was like hit with a giant beam of space beam from space, and he became Starman, where he's like got all this energy. He's full of energy, and he's super dense. That's another thing about him.
Oh yeah, he makes a reference to that later.
He's super, his body is super dense, like a star. Basically,
like a white dwarf.
Oh, a dwarf, yeah. So
anyway, so he's unconscious, and they're like, "Oh, we have to go get some help." So as they're doing it, Blockbuster is running through the desert with no shoes on. He's like trampling over cactuses.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Yeah, this is great. Oh man, this is awesome. So happy."
Blockbuster's mustache is weird.
Is it a mustache? Oh, it is a mustache.
He's got a little, like one of those little, like tiny little mustaches, like Hervé Village.
Or like me. It's got an Italian girl mustache. It's a little tiny one. So for some reason, as he's like, "Oh, this is great," ha 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 ha, Batman is driving the Batmobile through the desert. So we can only assume that Batman has driven from Gotham to Arizona.
Yeah,
in the Batmobile.
Because where the fuck is there a desert that's so close to
Gotham?
To Gotham.
Well, he even says like, "Oh, he broke out of a prison back east." Blah blah blah. Like later on, he says that. So, does he
drive the highways?
I'm assuming he must. Like, how else is he going to get there?
I don't know. I mean, you could take, find a way to go.
Well, you could, but I think that takes like forever.
Yeah,
I'm trying. There's actually before the highway system was created, I think it was like FDR did drive from like, this is before he was president, like from the East Coast to the West Coast, just on the, route and all that sort of stuff. And it took him something like 39 days to get across the country. So
this is day 39.
Sure. But once the highways were built, now it only takes 4.
Right.
Anyway, so...
as somebody who's driven across the country, I agree.
Yeah. Yes. God, that's a long drive.
I've done it.
I was going to say, you've done it 3 times. Well, I did it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyway, so Batman hears that Starman's getting taken to the trauma team, and he's like, "Man, I don't know a lot about this Starman."
Starman.
So he
looks up like John Jones.
Yeah, he looks up the files, finds out that he's got a super dense body.
He's super dense. He must be stupid.
And then he's like, "Oh man, all that power he was still brought down. Oh no, Blockbuster's super tough." And then we cut back to Starman, who's the paramedics are trying to revive him, but they're like, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah, they're just like,
because he's got no heartbeat and he's not breathing. So put a sheet on him and report it on the news so his sister can cry. But basically, it looks like the way it's drawn, instead of tears, it looks like, if you're like filling up a glass in the sink. Yeah. And you like get to the top, it just like spills over the side. That's what her eyes look like.
Yeah. So she's very sad. And this is weird. So she's watching this on the news. She calls up his buddy that apparently...
No, I think his buddy calls her.
His buddy calls her.
Yeah.
And
he's like, hey, we were hanging out. Now he's gone. What's up?
And he's like, hey, what happened? And she's like, he's dead. But here's the thing. So, okay, I don't know what's going... I mean,
no,
I think...
as she's about to say, like, he's dead, apparently he just, like, on live TV, he just, like, sits up. Like, I'm assuming he's on the stretcher with the sheet over him, and everybody's like, oh, it's so sad, Starman is dead. And then he's like, not dead.
Toad's not dead. But here's the thing. So I'm assuming on the phone because she's sad here, and she's about to say that, and she goes, yeah. Somebody yells.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's her.
And, like, he gets, like, you know, it's a weird, like, it doesn't make, the panels don't make sense.
It's kind of pointless. And so he's alive, and he's like, oh, wow, I'm good. Don't worry about me. And so he flies off.
He's kind of beat up, though, so he flies off. And
he's like, I gotta find Blockbuster. Meanwhile, Blockbuster like wanders into some like gas station in the desert, where he like smashes two dudes' heads together and then like eats a giant piece of ham.
Pretty much.
Then he's
because they come in, they're like, hey, I heard this Blockbuster, and he's like, I'm here, and he's like, kill.
Yeah, he like smashes these guys' heads together. He's like, oh, look. He
does the wrestling double noggin knocker and murders them.
Yeah,
well, which is what would happen in. Our WrestleMania.
So yeah, he's like, it's hard to get enough to eat when I'm Blockbuster, but he's like, om. And then he like puts on a coat. It's like a vest. And then
see my vest.
Made of real gorilla chest. So then he's like, all right. Because I guess his brother was also Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And now he's Blockbuster, and he's like,
is this Roland or Mark?
I think this is Roland.
Okay. Roland Emmerich, okay.
And he says, well, I can get out of my Blockbuster mode if I just like concentrate or calm down.
Because you can calm down, yeah.
And as he tries to do that, it actually doesn't work.
Yeah.
So then he kicks a beam down.
Is that one of the guys still alive?
Yeah, they're both still alive. Like that guy's like, oh, like he was here, and now he's like, oh, like whatever.
Also, he didn't murder them with the headbanging.
Not yet. So as that's happening, Starman's just like, what's this weird thing in the desert? Let's go stand atop a pile of trash, where Batman is also standing atop a pile of trash.
So Batman is just standing in a top of a pile of trash, flashing a light.
Yeah, he's just like, maybe someone will come hang out with me. This is how I get friends. Like, I just go to the middle of
That's what he was doing to Batman v Superman. He was just like,
that's exactly what it is.
I just want friends. And like Superman shows up and is like, I'm going to kill you.
And they're like, this is how I make friends. And then they did. And then they became best friends.
They totally became best friends.
Yeah, they really did. So
good friends.
So Batman atop a pile of trash. And he's like, hey, well, we're after the same guy. And this is what happened. He broke out of jail after he became like Blockbuster, but he has to take like a bunch of steroids to maintain it.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on.
Lots of juice.
Oh, by the way, I don't know where these people came from, because apparently here's some dead bodies atop the pile of trash.
Oh, I think they went to...
They're still standing up atop a pile of trash.
Oh, I thought
there's trash. They're still there. They haven't left anywhere. They haven't gone anywhere.
Wait, so did he not go to the gas? Is this the gas station?
No, he's already in the gas station. They haven't gone there unless this is the gas station.
I feel like this is the gas station. He's like, by the way, here's some dead bodies on top of a pile of trash.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't. It's not very well.
It's actually not very clear.
No.
And by the way, this dead body, even though he killed two men, that one has tits.
Oh, maybe he did kill a woman. Maybe this isn't it.
That's why I was like, is this different? Because that body obviously has breasts.
Either that or he broke its elbows and bent them up together.
Yeah, or that's his hands, maybe. I don't know. So, but no, one of these guys is alive.
No.
Oh, no, that's the bus driver.
Okay, so what happens is as they're talking on this pile of trash, I think this is the...
We're assuming it's the gas station.
Well, maybe here's him. Okay,
I think it's the gas station.
Okay, but I think maybe the gas station, maybe one of the guys was trans.
Well, I mean,
and he has breasts.
It could be possible, but it's not.
It's a very progressive book.
It's not explained if that is how it is. I mean, it's possible, but it's not explained. Let's go with that. So, as Batman and Starman are talking, this dude in a puffy vest.
It's puffy.
He's wearing a puffy vest.
Yeah.
He shows up and he's like, help me, please. Some humongous dude said he was tired of walking and he stole my school bus that I'm driving through the middle of the desert at night.
Yeah,
And there's there's kids on board.
Like,
Apparently they're not home yet.
Here's the thing. They're not driving on a freeway. I feel like they're probably...
No, it's like, this is the middle of nowhere.
Why would you be driving them at night?
In the middle of fucking nowhere? I have no idea.
I mean, you could have at least stopped off and been like, "Hey, kids, we're not going to get you home tonight. We'll get you home. You can stay here." And
yeah, I don't know.
There's a motel, and I have 30 kids, and I
no, because it's definitely like not a highway. You can see that they're like coming down.
This is already when Blockbuster's been driving.
All right, it's
so
the middle.
So maybe he went even further off the beaten path.
Yeah,
but still, there's no reason for this bus to be out tonight.
No, absolutely not.
It is not at all. It's been nighttime
with kids.
It's been nighttime for the pretty much the entire book.
Yeah, it's got to be like midnight at this point. Because I mean, like, there's a very large moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway, so
what happens is, so
they find the bus.
They find this bus, but there's just this line where, hang on. So what happens is, actually, and here's I have a question. A few things here.
Yeah.
First of all, Mr. Starman finds this bus, and so Blockbuster's driving this bus, and the kids are like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm creepy." Yeah. Starman lands on top of the bus.
Yeah.
Somehow does not crush it because he is dense. Because he is dense as shit. He also says, "I hope we don't scare them even more." Batman got a little intense when he heard the kids were involved. So, which
kids are the only people Batman doesn't murder.
He heard that one of the kids' name was Martha.
And that's basically what happened. Is Starman was like, by the way, every person in this bus is named Martha.
He was like,
oh shit, we gotta save him. We gotta save Martha. So wait until he finds out that Blockbuster's mother's name is Martha.
Oh yeah, he might just let him live.
Start hugging.
So thankfully, Starman shows up and rips a hole in the bus as it's driving. Rips a hole in the roof of the bus as it's driving and pulls out Blockbuster
while it's driving.
And then the bus just keeps going.
And of course, instead of like Starman bringing Batman with him so he could just jump right down the hole and take over for driving, Batman has to drive the Batmobile beside the bus, wait till Starman has jumped out of the way, and then try to jump onto the bus and go in and like save the kids.
I have a question.
Why?
Has the Batmobile always had a big yellow bat on the side?
No, this is a different Batmobile. I've never not used to that one. So it's so yeah, instead of like making sure that Batman wouldn't fuck up over here, which he doesn't, but at the same time he could.
Oh, he totally could have, because it's a friggin' bus full of kids.
He could have just brought him with him. I don't understand why he didn't just say, all right, I'm picking Batman up and taking it with me. So when I get out of the way, Batman just immediately jumps down. Instead, he's got to do this fucking bullshit with the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm so fucking tough.
And then we get this great scene where the kids are all, you see, get a panel of the kids crying, and it's just Batman in the front of the bus seat just going, turn around going, I'm the bus driver.
Yeah.
I won't hurt you.
Not watching the road, of course.
Yeah, totally not just being like, I'll save you.
This isn't the Batmobile where you can like program it to drive. No, this is just a regular fucking school bus.
He's very casually.
I know, he's got this thumb out. He's leaning.
He's kind of leaning. He's like, hey guys, I'm Batman.
Anybody want to give me a cup of coffee?
You guys got anything? Any snacks back there? Any crackers with cheese?
Terrible.
Don't refrigerate them. I don't like them that way.
Makes them cold. So as we see that, like Blockbuster and Starman are fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting,
like, dropping him on shit.
Yeah, they're throwing each other. They're fighting. Thankfully, they're fighting in a closed or like just the desert and just fucking up the desert, which
middle of nowhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes. So they're fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and eventually, so Batman apparently has saved the children, but we don't see that because as Starman,
we stopped the bus at least. And radioed for help.
I'm assuming you left them there. Just walked away.
Just what, you could be okay? All right,
all right, I'm out. And so then
he said that he radioed for a bus.
I know. But, so then, like, as Starman and Blockbuster are fighting, all of a sudden there's, like, gas. And it's, like, knockout gas. And, of course, Starman doesn't have to breathe, so it doesn't matter. So then Starman can, like, fight Blockbuster and eventually knock him unconscious.
Because Blockbuster's really hard to beat up.
Yeah.
He's like super dense and super tough, and for Starman, it's a
challenge.
Chore.
Yeah. So finally knocks him out, and then Batman's like, "Good job." He's like,
Thumbs
oh,
up.
you saved the kids. He's like, yep, they're fine. I just radioed for another bus, left them in the middle of the desert. No big.
Where's your car? I don't know.
Oh.
Whatever.
And so Starman's like, oh, okay, well, thanks, man.
And he's like, starts asking him, like, what's it like fighting somebody stronger than you? It's like, and Batman's like, dude, I know.
He's like,
I'm
everyone.
Everyone.
I'm just a
everyone
fucking person.
I literally can bench only 200 pounds. I'm a part of the 200 club.
But like, that's it.
That's it. That's all I can do.
I can hit tires with sledgehammers. I can drag. Was he pushing?
He's dragging more tires. or plates of metal.
Yeah, whatever.
Metal weights.
It's the most hardcore gym.
It is. You guys, Batman v Superman has CrossFit in it.
It sure does.
Has CrossFit.
If you want to watch Batman do pull-ups with a chain around his waist attached to a weight, that is the movie for you.
Yeah, these are small spoilers, but you'll see when you see it. Or apparently none of you want to see it.
I'm assuming everybody who wanted to see it has already seen it because it had the biggest Friday to Friday drop of any superhero movie
I don't think
ever.
anybody that is listening to this show right now has not seen this movie.
No, I can't imagine.
Oh, whatever number of you are.
No.
Yeah, no, you guys have all seen the movie.
You know.
Yeah.
So Batman's like, all right, I'm out. And then Starman's like, man, that's the toughest guy I've ever met.
Jesus Christ.
And
You should just, why don't you just blow him? Why don't you just have somebody else come out and just blow him?
this is what I know. So Batman like walks away from Starman. And then we get Batman just standing there as Starman flies away.
So he walks away. He walks like 2 feet, and then Starman's like
to watch Starman go fly away.
And he goes, "That's not a tough man."
No, he says something like, "I hope he's gonna make it. We need more people like him."
Yeah, we need more people like him because it's basically
like, hey, Starman's cool because Batman said so. So please read this comic book.
Please keep reading this comic book, and then he didn't totally like he didn't go on.
Sorry, Batman's endorsement did not mean anything for Starman.
Yeah, it meant shit. Mm-hmm. But we got to find out that Batman is the toughest man he's ever met.
Also, Starman's letters column is called Bright Ideas.
Hey, you know what? Not bad.
Yeah,
it's like at least it's not let's rap with Cap.
Oh, that's sad.
That was when Captain America was like yo yo yo. No, I'm serious. That's
the
what
guy from the 40s going yo yo yo.
He's got a backwards hat with his wings all skewed in his head, and he's like yo yo yo. Let's talk fresh on the tip, yo. I'm Captain America. I can't rap.
I know.
That's literally what he's saying. That's literally exactly how I tried to attempt of small rap for Captain America is exactly how Captain America would do it if this was in the movie.
Yeah.
Where he was like, yo, no. Yeah.
Maybe no.
Yeah. So would you read the next issue of Starman?
I mean, if we had it, I guess.
We do.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I guess I will eventually have to read it for the show.
I have the next issue of this.
Man, oh, man. So, sure. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I just think I'm actually there.
I don't hate it.
I have a few issues of Starman, other issues of this run because it went for a couple of years. And I like it. I actually kind of want to track down because there's some Eclipso issues in there, too. Mm-hmm. There's some other stuff, and I kind of feel like I might add it to my list of DC books because right now I have. So this is how my collections are going. let me just break it down for you folks. So for Marvel, I'm still trying to finish my Wonder Man. I have like one or two Wondermans. Mm-hmm. Quasar, I'm trying to finish my Quasars. And then Warlock and the Infinity Watch. I had a few new ones at WonderCon, so I'm pretty happy about that.
What about Alpha Flight?
No, I'm gonna hold off on Alpha Flight's. The thing about Alpha Flight is like you can literally go any comic book store and there's like a million Alpha Flight comics.
Yes.
Of that run, it's like they're all there.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna chill out. So, what's another one that I'm working on? That I can't.
I don't know. Well,
so those are the Marvel ones. In DC, I'm working on Guy Gardner.
Okay. Warrior?
Guy Gardner Warriors. It goes Guy Gardner and then it becomes Guy Gardner Warrior after like issue like 20 or something like that. So I'm binding all those.
Okay.
And that was around for a couple of years. And I think I might do Starman. And I might do Dr. Fate, the A90. I find a lot of those. You don't find a lot of Starmans.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fates you do find a lot of though. So I might
Like Dr. Fate or Fate?
I think just Dr. Fate.
Okay.
I think the Kent Nelson one.
Okay, we're not talking about when it was like the super 90s. His name was Fate, and like he melted the helmet down into a dagger.
You can buy those digitally, which are those are around, but I don't really want to read those. At least not right now.
Okay.
I don't think I need to mess with that. So, yeah. So that's guys. That was very important that I told you that. Anyways,
yes, it was.
That's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, and we will be back next week with more books. I think we may have. Wait, is it next week?
Next week's the 9th.
Okay, so we
may have a guest.
Maybe next week.
We'll see. We're working on it.
We're working on it. We actually have a few guests coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Oh shit!
So people that are very cool, and oh
shit.
So if we don't make it through WrestleMania, you'll hear some guests. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. Also Instagram as well, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com, where I'm currently very behind on my Gilmore Girls reviews, but I'm getting there.
Good job.
Thanks.
Proud.
Season 6.
I am proud.
Hey, I've been really working hard on that shit.
Yeah, I know. I know you do.
I'm almost there.
And you're back to reviewing Gotham, too.
I am back to reviewing Gotham as well.
Yeah, Gotham. It's terrible.
Yep, it is.
So, yeah, and also please check out SideshowNetwork.tv. Go to the site, check out all their fine podcasts. And also on iTunes for the show, please rate, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Just be very generous if you think we deserve it. And just participate in that regard. And also, if you want to contact the show, I don't give this out enough, but Shawn at SideshowNetwork.tv is how you can reach me. So if you want to just bug us about stuff, bug me about comic books or stuff that, podcasts or whatever, just do that. I'm open to that. So cool. All right. So we'll be back next week, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.